This notification just hit my phone. $1,300 profit. I didn't find the trade, I didn't manage the trade, and AI literally did all of this for me while I was standing here doing absolutely nothing. And this is just one of the 5 ways I use AI to make money without working harder. Most of these you've probably heard of, but I guarantee the 4th one, 99% of you have never heard in your entire life. And I'm gonna show you all 5 either way. Now, the first way I use it is obvious, but most people are doing it wrong. AI generated content. Now, I'm not talking about having ChatGPT write you a blog post and call it a day. No, I'm talking about using AI as a production multiplier. This is what I mean. I batch film like 12 talking head videos in the span of an hour or 2. Then I use AI tools like Claude or CapCut's AI to remove all the dead space and filler words automatically. I could show you a little example real quick on how I use this on CapCut. All you have to do is click transcript. It'll give you the entire transcript of your video. And then once this is finished loading up, should take like 30 seconds. Boom, you can see right here, it will show you all the filler words to remove. Then I'll just press delete 23 words. And just like that, I saved like 10 minutes on this video. And that's not even talking about the Claude skill I set up that removes all the silences, all my repetitive takes, and every time I say cut. I can basically just upload all my content into Claude and get a rough cut in the span of 10 minutes. And I can also use AI to repurpose one video into 3 platform specific formats. I can take one video from YouTube and turn it into a TikTok, an IG reel, or even a YouTube short, each with slightly different framing, different text overlays, and what used to take me an entire day of editing now takes me about 15 minutes. I'm a business owner. I'm not an editor. I'm not trying to waste my time editing. That's what I used to hire people for. But nowadays with AI, the barrier of entry is much lower. You don't have to invest into an editor. And the best part is that AI is better than most of these editors out there and much faster. And that means that I can post 5 times a day across all platforms without a team and without burning out. And more content means more reach and more followers and more people in my ecosystem and more revenue. The hack isn't just using AI to create content. No, it's about using AI to create content at a volume that would physically be impossible without it. All it took was a day of me sacrificing to create content that whole day, and now my whole month is scheduled on content I'm posting. Now, the second way I use it is for customer support. I run an online community with over hundreds of members, paying monthly. So that means I'm getting hundreds of DMs, hundreds of questions. I'm onboarding hundreds of clients. So a lot of time is being taken out of my day. And that's not even counting the thousands of Instagram DMs I get every single day. If I was to answer every single one manually, that would be a full-time job by itself. Instead, I built automated sequences that handle 80% of it. Welcome messages go out automatically when someone DMs me, someone follows me, or when someone joins. And by day 7, they get a personalized check-in. All of the responses sound human because I wrote them once and the system delivers them at the right time. The 20% that actually needs my attention, those float to the top. My AI flags them, well, the automation system flags them, and I just handle them in 15 minutes a day. And the result of all of this is that my members, the people who pay to be in my community, feel taken care of 24/7. My churn dropped. Every customer is happier. Every customer is staying longer. And if you want to build a good and sound community, you have to make sure your support team is good as well. Customers aren't waiting 3 days for a reply anymore. And I also freed up 2 to 3 hours of my day every single day. So I'm making the customers happy and my life is getting much better at the same time. So I'm making my customers happier, giving them as much support as they need, and I'm also freeing up so much time in my day. I used to create content all the time, but now that time I freed up, I now use that to create more content, work on the infrastructure of my AI company, build up my product and make it even better, or just live my life. If you're a business owner, you're into, an online business, and you're still manually answering every single DM, you're leaving money on the table. And not only money, you're leaving time on the table. And that's the most important part. The third way I use AI is by ad creative testing. This one really changed my business. Most of you guys don't know, but I spend like $5,000 to $10,000 a month on meta ads. And the single biggest factor in whether an ad actually works or doesn't isn't the targeting. It's not the audience, it's the creative, the actual video or the image that people are seeing at that moment. The problem is that testing creatives manually is very slow and very expensive. You film an ad, you script that ad, spend $200 testing it, and it flops. You're back to square one, having to start all over again. But this is how AI changed that for me. I now use AI tools to generate multiple ad hook variations from a single script, different opening lines, different visual angles, different text overlays. Instead of testing 2 ads per week, I can now test 10 to 20. The data comes back in 48 hours and tells me exactly which hook, which angle, which first 3 seconds stop the scroll. Then I double down on the winner with a real budget. My cost per acquisition dropped tremendously because I'm not guessing anymore. I'm letting AI generate the variations and letting data pick the winner. It's like having a creative team, a whole entire agency of 10 people, but the only person on payroll is me. Now, obviously, my investors and the people who back this company, they have to get their cut as well, but you get the point. All right, now time for hack 4. This is basically the way that I make all of my money. This is the one that I said 99% of people don't know about. This is basically my source of passive income. It's AI automated trading, not signals, not alerts, not a bot that tells you what to buy and then you have to actually execute it yourself. I'm talking about a fully automated AI system that identifies trades, enters positions, sets stop losses and take profits, manages the risk of that trade, and even closes out that trade, all without me even doing anything. I built a system called Jotex AI. It trades the markets, and here's the part that blows people's minds. It doesn't trade every day. Most days it scans the market and says nothing here meets my criteria. It might go 3 days, 2 days without taking a single trade. And that patience is exactly why it averaged 70% annual returns last year. These are real trades, real entries, real exits, wins and losses, no cherry picking. We'll show you the losses as well, because anybody claiming that they don't lose, that they have a system that never loses, they're just lying to you and selling a dream. The point of this system is that it's going to win more than it loses. And when it does lose, that loss is going to be smaller than any winner it takes. The AI identifies what it considers a high quality setup and enters at the right price and holds the position for as long as it takes. I don't try to catch Asian session at 9 p.m. anymore. I don't try to stay up till 4 a.m. trying to catch London session. I don't read charts all the time or have anxiety about whether I should close this trade early or hold longer. The AI doesn't have emotion. It doesn't have ego. It doesn't have FOMO. It follows the strategy the same way every single time. And when it does lose, it's learning from that loss and adapting from it. Most people, they hear AI trading and they automatically think it's some sci-fi fantasy. It doesn't exist. It's a scam. It's not here. But guys, it's 2026. Just look at how advanced AI has gotten in the last year. And last year, I hopped on that wave and it's been paying off. The fact is, most people, they don't know a single thing about it. And that's exactly why it's still an edge. The link is in my description if you want to see how my AI actually works for yourself. But regardless of whether you use my system or build your own system, AI trading is the laziest money hack on this list. Because once it's running, I'm not exaggerating, you literally do nothing. Now, the last one is AI powered funnel building. If you're selling anything online, whether it's a course, a membership, a product, or a service, you need a funnel. You need a landing page, email sequence, follow-up messages, upsells, and building that used to cost like $5,000 to $10,000. And not only that, it would take weeks with a designer and a copywriter. But guess what? Now I use AI to write the copy, design the structure, and build the sequences in a fraction of the time. I'm talking about I can have all of this done in less than a day. All my signups are tracked, my email warm-up sequences are tracked, my DM follow-ups are tracked, and 80% of that was generated with AI and then refined with my voice and my brand. The result, I was able to launch a whole entire funnel in a day. What would have taken me a month last year took me a day, and it converts because the structure follows proven frameworks that AI has been trained on from thousands of successful funnels. It can research thousands of funnels before you can even do your own due diligence on one single funnel. You don't need to be a copywriter anymore. You don't need to be a designer or even hire one. All you need to know is how to use AI and let AI handle all of your packaging. It's 2026 and AI can almost do everything now. You can start a business from scratch with AI, learn how to trade from scratch with AI, make a product from scratch with AI, even an app from scratch with AI, and it's only going to evolve as the years progress. We're only in the beginning stages of AI. This is like having the internet when it first came out. So imagine what the future is going to hold. But those are the 5 lazy AI money hacks that are actually working for me right now. I'm not making anything up. These are actual use cases for AI that I use in my everyday life. So if you're a content creator, use AI to produce at insane amounts of volume. Use automated customer service if you're an online business owner. AI ad creative testing if you're testing ads on Meta ads. And if you're a trader, why not use a fully automated, proven AI trading bot? But if any of these made you rethink how you're actually spending your time, here's what I tell you. The people, the ones who are winning right now, they're not the ones working harder. They're the ones building systems, and AI is the best system builder that's ever existed. Imagine telling your parents, even your grandparents, you had this type of technology. They wouldn't even believe you. If you want to see hack number 4 in action, Jotex AI, then the link's in the description, or I'll put a video right here for you to watch. I also have a community where I share everything I'm building in real time. And if you got value from this video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, put your notifications on, because I'm going to be dropping videos every single week on how AI is changing the game for people who are actually willing to take action. But let me know down below in the comments, which hack are you actually going to try first? Let me know, guys. I read every single comment.